श्रीरामाय नमः स्वाहा 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 श्रीरामाय नमः स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स्वाहा। श्रीमो श्री सर्वदेवता देव्योभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री सर्वदेवता देव्योभ्यो नमः स्वाहा श्री सर्वदेवता देव्योभ्यो नमः स्वाहा। Those who are able to stand, let us all please stand as we engage in the final offering. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Sarvam Ve Purnagvam Swaha। बोल ईश्वर रामचंद्र भगवान के जय। पास द वाटर। ओम सर्व पाप हरम देवम गंगेयम निर्मलम जलम आचमन्य चमया दत्तम गृहान परमेश्वरम श्री अग्निदेवता आचमन्यम समर्पयामि। आसन लीजिए, please have your seats. So whilst I prepare for our discourse this morning, we'll have one or two more kirtan, bhajans.
शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले। हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर
सुख बरसाने वाले दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले शंभु भोले भाले।
शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले।
शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले।
लो पर नाम ही मंगलकारी, जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी। लो पर नाम ही
कारी जगदीश्वर त्रिपुरारी,
साचा वरदो दीन जनों को, हे भोला बंधारी। आज तिहारी शरण में आए दाता मोहे बचाने, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले,
शंभु भोले भाले। परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तारते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले।
मृत्यु तेरे चरण दबाए, विषधर अंत में खेले। मृत्यु तेरे चरण दबाए,
विषधर अंत में खेले,
भूत और प्रेत निकट नहीं आए, शिव शिव नाम ज्वले ले। उसका मन फिर क्या भरमाए, जिसको तू ही संभाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले,
शंभु भोले भाले। हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले।
हे ज्ञानेश्वर शक्तिशाली, अरजी करे सवाले। हे ज्ञानेश्वर शक्तिशाली, अरजी करे सवाले। हम हैं फूल तेरे बगिया के, तू है बाग कमाले। पूजा लायक कर ले हमको अपनी शरण लगा ले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले,
शंभु भोले भाले।
हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु
भोले भाले।
हे शिव शंकर परम मनोहर सुख बरसाने वाले, दुख तालते भव से तारते
शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले।
शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले, शंभु भोले भाले।
हे राम हे राम हे राम
हे राम
हे राम हे राम जग तु सके तेरू नाम हे राम हे राम
आह कष्ट हरन आह दुख हरन तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम हो कमल नैन वाले आह कष्ट हरन आह दुख हरन तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम हो
कमल नैन वाले राम।
गत गत में तेरे आभास समाए गत गत में तेरे आभास समाए तू ही सभी का साचा सहाय तू ही सभी का
सच्चा सहाय
तू ही है सारे जगत का रचैया तू ही है सारे जगत का रचैया हाथों में तेरे लगा मेरा आह कष्ट हरन आह दुख हरन
तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम।
कैसे सुनाए महिमा तुम्हारे कैसे सुनाए महिमा तुम्हारे नहीं वालियों में शक्ति हमारे नहीं वालियों में
शक्ति हमारे
सब प्राणियों का तू ही दाता सब प्राणियों का तू ही दाता सब है तुम्हारी गुलाम मेरा
आह कष्ट हरन आह दुख हरन तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम।
मन में हमारे भक्ति जगा दो मन में हमारे भक्ति जगा दो अपने चरण का दीवाना बना दो अपने चरण का दीवाना
बना दो
तेरा मधुर नाम प्यारे रमैया तेरा मधुर नाम प्यारे रमैया जपते रहिया तुया मेरा आह कष्ट हरन
आह दुख हरन तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम।
हम तुमको चाहे ध्याए न ध्याए हम तुमको चाहे ध्याए न ध्याए तेरी शरण में आए न आए तेरी शरण में तूने सभी पर कृपाएं लुटाए तूने सभी पर कृपाएं लुटाए देता सभी को आराम मेरा आह कष्ट हरन आह दुख हरन तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम। राम हो
कमल नैन वाले राम।
आह कष्ट हरन आह दुख हरन तेरा नाम राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम। राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम। राम हो कमल नैन वाले राम।
ॐ नमो नारायण हरि ॐ नमो नारायण ॐ नमो नारायण ॐ नमो
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Om
Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Gopal Radhe Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal
Govinda Govinda Govinda
जय हरे कृष्ण गोवर्धन गिरधारे
जय हरे कृष्ण गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
जय हरे कृष्ण गोवर्धन गिरिधारे
जय हरे कृष्ण गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन
राधा मोहन राधा जीवन मंजुल कुंज बिहारी बोलो मंजुल कुंज बिहारी जय हरे कृष्ण गोवर्धन गिरिधारी जय हरे कृष्ण गोवर्धन गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
बोली श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। जय जय Sitaram. Cordial welcome to all who are present here at the Mandir, as well as those who are joining us online today as we engage in our second session of Ramayan Yagna. We had a small delay in our discourse. Srupta is not feeling too well, so of course this takes priority and precedence. Fatherly duties comes first. But at this time she's feeling better, so I ask that we all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads. We focus our minds upon Maryada Purushottam, Prabhu Shri Ram, as we engage in prarthana, shlokas of praise, supplication at the feet of Prabhu Shri Ram. Harihi Om Varnanam Artha Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasanam Mangalanam Chakartaram Vande Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Bande Shraddha Vishwasvarupina Yabhyam Bina Pashyante Siddha Swanta Stamishwaram Vande Bodham Mayam Nityam Guru Shankar Rupinam Yamashrito He Vakro Vape Chandra Sarvatra Bandhyate Sitaram Gunagram Punyaranya Biharina Vande Vishuddha Vigyana Kavishwara Kapishwaro. Shri Ramayan Sumiran. जही सो मिरात से भी हो गणनायक करि बहर बहरना करओ अनुग्रह सो बोधि राशि शुभ गुण सरना मूक होई वाचा पंगु चहय गिर वहर गहना जासो कृपा सो दया द्रवो सकल कल महल गहना नील सरोरोह श्याम तरुण अरुण बारिज नयना करओ सुमम उरधाम सराक्षीर सा गहर शयना कुंदो साम देहा उमार मन कर नायना जाहि दीन पगनेहा करो कृपा मर धन भयना बंदाओ गुरु पाद कान कृपा से हुनर रूप हरे महामोह तन कुंज जासु बचन रवि कर कर सियापति राम चंद्र जी की जय शरण। बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। So this morning, devotees, as we prepare ourselves to engage in the Katha, this is Katha that we have been perusing for a few months now from the pages of Sri Ramcharitamanas. And for those who are not familiar with what has taken place, I'll give you a brief synopsis that leads up to this point where we are right now in our Katha, where Garudaji was experiencing a sense of confusion because of Maya having an effect on him, illusion, that he was seeing Bhagwan in front of him, Bhagwan Sri Ram, but he was called upon to help Sri Ram when Sri Ram and Lakshmanji was shot with the Nag Astra, the snake weapon, and they were entwined, they were tied up with venomous snakes. And Naraji is the one who called Garudaji and asked him to render assistance to Sri Ram. And after performing this service to Sri Ram, he went back, and now the thought came to him that if he is the omnipotent, omniscient Lord, he's all-powerful, he's all-knowing, he's all-seeing, there's nothing that is impossible for him, then why is it that I had to help? Why is it I had to help? And devotees, for us to fathom or to understand the leelas of the Lord, it's very difficult sometimes. So sometimes we seek not to understand, but just to accept and to love God for what He does for us, because here it is, he created an opportunity. He created an opportunity for Garud to render service, to perform a service to Garud. But here it is also that in creating this opportunity, it also caused a conflict, a confusion in the mind of Garud. And we ask ourselves, devotees, on a day-to-day basis, how many opportunities arise for us to perform a seva or service unto Bhagwan? How many times? It's not just to go to the altar and do Aarti and to put a chandan, but in many different ways we can perform a service to Bhagwan. And how many times do we become confused? How many times questions arise in our minds? Yesterday, as we observed the Guru Purnima, and we spoke about the doubts and the uncertainties in our minds as to why things happen, how it should happen, what we should do, etc. Many questions will come. And devotees, at the feet of our Guru, all of these questions are answered. But here it is that Garud, that vehicle of Mahavishnu Bhagwan, became confused. Illusion came over him. And he started to seek answers. And in seeking those answers, he came to the ashram of Kagbhasundaji, God-realized soul. And Kagbhasundaji started to speak to him on various matters, trying to arouse his mind out of the illusion, out of the confusion. And devotees, many things were discussed. We cannot go into all of those things. But we'll continue our katha where Kagbhasundaji is saying to Garud about the different steps that one can take in order to become closer and closer to God. Or he says, we can take all these different steps, or we can choose to become a servant, a dasya of Bhagwan. We can choose to become a servant of God. Now many people think, why should I become a servant? It's a very low occupation, isn't it? Sometimes we think like this. But who was the greatest servant of Prabhu Sri Ram? Hanumanji. Pavanaputra Hanumanji. The greatest servant of Prabhu Sri Ram. And he was most happy, most ecstatic to serve Bhagwan. This way, devotees, we should also be very happy and very ecstatic. You know, whenever I come here to the mandir, I'm always taken aback. You know, I never take it for granted that the enthusiasm that our devotees have here in the mandir. This morning I told them I'll be here at a certain time. I was a little bit late. They were all ready and waiting for me. By the time I came, all I had to do is sit down and start. The energy and the enthusiasm that is shown here each and every time for puja, for satsang, for yagna, the devotees that come out and they put out. They don't just come out. They come out and they put out devotees, and all of these things will add up to something in your life. Will add up to that point where we become true servants of Bhagwan, because every time we come here, we come to the mandir, we are reminded. We are reminded of our service to Bhagwan. And now we have to transfer. We have to transfer that feeling of being reminded here at the mandir, and we have to take that feeling with us when we leave also. The transference of that feeling when we serve Bhagwan here, we see, you know, the very beautiful murti of Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Durga Ma, etc. We come here and it's very easy to attach that service to Bhagwan, isn't it? But when we leave and we go and we're doing our daily activities, how easy it is to remember Bhagwan, and that this service that we're doing, this activity that we're doing is dedicated to Him. Do you remember this? Sometimes we do, right? Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't as well. Right? The simple example we can bring up, and this may happen in various households. And if perhaps two people are out working, one reaches home a little earlier, whether it's the wife or the husband. Today, we share the duties, right? Not the wife only is performing the household duties, not the husband only is performing household duties. But let's say one reached home before the other one and they cook a meal, right? And they do their best to cook that meal, and the other one comes home and say, hey, you put too little bit of salt, you put too much pepper, I start to criticize the meal. Now, how can we remember Bhagwan now? In this instance. Do you remember Bhagwan in that instance? All we can focus on is the criticism that we're getting. And we start to lash back, right? We start to lash back. So we understand, devotees, the difficulties that we face. The difficulties that we face in our day-to-day activities, because we will be challenged many times during our day. We'll be challenged because we wake up and I heard this in the mandir, it makes sense to me. It resonates with me, so I think I should practice it. And we try to practice it, but many times we'll be challenged in that practice. And it is overcoming that challenge, devotees, that helps us to become better. Overcoming the challenges as they come to us. And we understand, devotees, that Prabhu Shri Ram, the Lord Himself, is that ultimate truth for each and every one of us. So we all chant His name for a few moments. Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram. We all chant together. Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram,
Bolo Ram Ram Ram.
सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न कोई. सुख के सब साथी. That when things are well with us, devotees, sab saathi, a lot of people will be around us. Dukha mein na koi. When we are in problems and distress, how many people come to our aid? How many people come around us offering their assistance to help devotees? Mere Ram, Tera Naam Ek Sacha. That, O Lord, your name is the highest truth for us. Dujana koi. There's none other than your name. There's none other than you, O Prabhu, that will be there for us. Duniya mein ek sahara. That in this world you are that only support for us. So devotees, we must nurture that relationship with our Bhagwan. Sukh ke sab saathi, dukh mein na koi. सुख के सब साथी,
दुख में न कोई.
मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा, दूजा न कोई. सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न कोई. जीवन आने जाने छाया, जीवन आने जाने छाया, झूठे माया झूठे काया, फिर काहे को सारी उमरिया, फिर काहे को सारी उमरिया, पाप की गठरी ढोए, सुख के सब साथी, दुख में न कोई, सुख के
सब साथी, दुख में न कोई।
ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा, ना कुछ तेरा ना कुछ मेरा, ये जग जोगे वाला तेरा, राजा हो या रंक सभी का, राजा हो या रंक सभी का, अंत एक सहोई, सुख के सब साथे,
दुख में न कोई।
मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा दूजा न कोई, सुख के सब साथे,
दुख में न कोई।
बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम।
राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम।
Let's all chant devotees with a great amount of love, devotion, prema or bhakti, shakti, energy devotees. We chant that name of Maryara Purushottam Prabhu Shri Ram. We feel that energy of Bhagavan coursing through our entire beings, bringing that purification, bringing that sense of being uplifted, bringing that sense of peace and happiness into our lives. Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram, Bolo Ram Ram Ram.
राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम।
राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम।
राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, 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 बोलो राम राम राम। बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Devotees, when we chant that name, of Sri Ram, we should feel, that all the pores, all the hairs on our body is standing on edge. We can feel that electricity, energy running through our bodies. Do we feel this? When we chant devotees, we close our eyes and we start to think of Bhagwan while we chant his name. And the experience that you have, you cannot adequately describe it in words. It cannot be described, devotees. You can only experience that thrill. I'm reminded when Hanumanji met Prabhu Sri Ram and he recognized his Lord. When he recognized that divinity of Sri Ram in front of him, devotees, he fell upon the feet of Sri Ram and tears were streaming from his eyes. And it says that no words could come to his mouth at that time. All he could do is look at the Lord and cry. This was the devotion that he was feeling at that time. And here the Lord is, Kalbusundaji is explaining to Garudaji that to become a servant of the Lord is to become very, very close to him. So we'll chant this Chaupai and then we'll understand what Kalbusundaji is saying further. इन्हते पुनि मोहि प्रिया निज दासा जुहि गति मोरी न दूसरी आशा बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम पुनि पुनि सत्य कहा तो ही पाहे श्री राम जय राम मोहि सेवक सम प्रिया को नाहे बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम. So we explained the part of this Chaupai already, where he says that dearer to me than all who, practice all the different steps of becoming a human, of becoming a Dvija, twice born, etc., becoming well versed in the Vedas, practice of different tapasyas and so on. He says, greater than all of these is an humble servant of mine. Greater than all of these. The person who becomes closer to Bhagavan than taking all these steps, if we become a servant, a true servant of the Lord. That one who looks to the Lord for protection, for refuge, and none other. He says, Jehi gati morina dusari asha, that we don't look to anyone else for protection. We don't place our hope and faith in anyone else. Faith is a funny thing, right? Faith is a funny thing. We were talking about this yesterday. That how we develop faith. How do we develop belief? We do something, we see results, we start to get a belief right away. Isn't it? But if we do something, we don't see a result, now we start to question. We start to question why. Why am I not seeing a result? Why am I not seeing a benefit? So we start to question. So when we do the puja and we don't see, immediate change in life, we say, why are you doing puja for? We do our job and we don't see immediate change in life. Say, why Panditji tell me to do this? Why Guruji tell me to do this? We start to question devotees. We question because we are not perceiving a change. We are not perceiving a result. But the Lord says, place in Him that unalloyed faith. That unalloyed faith, very beautiful bhajan I'm reminded of when we speak about faith. There's a problem when you sing so many bhajans. Because when you start talking about something, it reminds you of a bhajan. And then you feel like you have to sing it. Because Bhagwan says that you want to sing, that you're talking about this, you should sing this bhajan. I don't know devotees, I don't plan anything that happens on the Singhasan. Whatever happens on the Singhasan is what Bhagwan wants us to do. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. भरोसा कर. Bharosa means faith. Bharosa kar, to put faith in who? To Ishwar par, in your Bhagwan. Put faith in your Bhagwan. Tujhe dhoka nahi hoga. That you'll never be deceived in this world, devotees. You'll never be fooled in this world. You'll always understand what is right, what is wrong. ये जीवन बीत जाएगा. ये जीवन बीत जाएगा. As the time in our life passes, devotees, ये जीवन बीत जाएगा. तुझे रोना नहीं होगा. तुझे रोना नहीं होगा. That you will not cry, devotees. You will not cry out of distress. You will not cry out of pain. You will not cry out of suffering. If you cry, devotees, the tears will be tears of love, tears of joy, tears of happiness for experiencing that faith in Bhagwan. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर तुझे धोखा नहीं. ये जीवन बीत जाएगा. ये जीवन बीत तुझे रोना नहीं होगा. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. जो सुख आवे तू हंस देना. जो दुख आवे तू सह लेना. जो सुख आवे तू हंस देना. जो दुख आवे तू सह लेना. ना कहना कुछ कभी जग से, ना कहना कुछ कभी जग से. प्रभु से ही तू कह देना. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा. भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर. बीत जाएगा, ये जीवन बीत तुझे रोना नहीं होगा, भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा, भरोसा कर तू ईश्वर पर, तुझे धोखा नहीं होगा। बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। The bhajan tells us, the one verse that we sang, जो सुख आवे तो हंस देना. We all understand what that word means, sukha. Do we understand what sukha means? Happiness, right? Jo sukha aave. So when happiness comes to us, to has dena, very easy to smile. Isn't it? When we're happy, it's very easy to smile, right? What happens? Jo dukh aave to sahelena. When dukh comes, when unhappiness comes, how easy it is to smile then. It's not easy, is it? So bhajan is telling us, devotees, that we should accept happiness and unhappiness with the same smile. Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagwan ki jai. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram kahiye. We all know this bhajan? Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram kahiye. जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रहिए. सीताराम सीताराम, जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रहिए. That whatever is our situation in life, devotees, we accept it as a blessing from Bhagwan. You know, I'm walking in my house, somebody plays something where it shouldn't be, and I stub my toe on it. Jai Shri Ram. Not something else. Sometimes I say something else, right? So, Jai Shri Ram. In the remembrance of Bhagwan, devotees, that smile will come to us. But if we start to think in a different way, then we are creating energies. You know, thought generates energy. We know this, right? Every thought that we entertain generates a certain energy. And where is that energy residing? Where's the thoughts, devotees? Where are the thoughts? We're generating the thoughts? The mind. And who is your mind closest to? Yourself. So if you're generating negative thoughts, it's like slowly poisoning yourself. Slowly hurting yourself all the time, generating negative thoughts. You're creating that negative energy inside of you, devotees. Inside of you. They say when somebody becomes angry, say anger is a suffering that we put upon ourselves for somebody else's mistake. Suffering that we put upon ourselves. We think that we're hurting somebody else when we become angry and we shout at them. We yell at them. We think we're hurting them. No, devotees. If they don't accept that shouting, they don't accept those words, we're hurting ourselves only. We're hurting ourselves only. So whatever we generate inside of us, devotees, affecting us the most. Affecting us the most. So whatever comes to us in life, we should be able to accept it with the same smile. With the same smile. Na kahna kuch kabhi jag se. We like to talk in this world. We like to talk. This person, that person, have a problem, I call this person, that person, and talk to them about the problems, about what's going on in life. Bhajan is saying, na kahna kuch kabhi jag se. Don't talk. Don't talk too much in this world. Don't talk too much in this world, because today somebody your friend, tomorrow maybe not. We confide in so many people and put a faith in them. And we get disappointed, isn't it? Today they're a friend, but tomorrow you do something against their wishes, something that's against what they want or what they think is right. And then what happens immediately? They become your enemy. Become your enemy, no matter how good, thick you were. Right? They say ring and finger. Right? So close. But then become as far as continents apart. Right? We've all experienced this. We've all experienced this. The friendship, the enmity that arises in this world. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. It says, Prabhu se hi tu keh dena. If you have anything to say, go and say it to God. Go in your puja room and say it. Bhagwan will accept anything that we have to say to him as long as we say it with love. We go and say, Bhagwan, mufat hutan mein. We say it with love, Bhagwan will say, my child, I bless you. Whatever we say to Bhagwan with love, you understand? Bhagwan accepts devotees. So, Katha is telling us to become a servant of Prabhu. Puni puni satya kahau to hi pahi. He says, and again and again, I'm saying to you, again and again, I'm saying to you, the Lord is saying to Kak Busundaji, I am saying to you that mohi sevak sam priya ko nahi, that there is none so dear to me as a servant. Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So I'll do one more chaupai because I've kept you all back a little bit, but I'll do one more chaupai and we'll explain and then we'll do our Aarti. भगति हीना बिरंचे कीन होए सब जीवाहु सम प्रिय मोहि सोए बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम भगतिवंत आति नीचाऊ प्राणी मोहि प्राण प्रिय असि मम बानी बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम बोलो
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम.
The Lord is making a very wonderful statement here. Devotee says, Bhaktihin biranchi kin hoi, sab jivahu mam priya mohi soi. He says, Bhaktihin, that a person who is without devotion, be it Brahmaji himself, Brahmaji the creator of this entire universe, the creation. He can be Brahmaji himself. He says, that person is no dearer to me than any other creature that is part of this creation. Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So the Lord is telling us, each and every person, each and every entity is very dear to him. very dear to him. What is the qualifying factor to become closer to Bhagwan? Devotion. He says, bhaktihin, that without devotion, even the Creator is just like anybody else. Just like anybody else. But bhaktivant ati nicha prani, that the lowest creature who has bhakti, who is expressing devotion to Bhagavan, he says, mohi pran priya asi mama bani, is as dear to me as my own life. Boli Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Devotees, we understand when Prabhu Shri Ram was explaining Naudha Bhakti to Shabri Mata, he says that a person that does not have bhakti, devotion in their life is worth as much as a cloud without water. You understand? The cloud without water, all it does is fly around in the sky. All it does is fly around in the sky. This side, that side, the other side. This is how life becomes devotees without bhakti. We are helter-skelter everywhere, looking for something, looking for a happiness, looking for a little peace, a little solace in life. All we have to do, devotees, is just stop. Stop the busyness of the mind, stop the busyness of the life a little bit, and start to think of Bhagavan. Start to think of God. In that remembrance of God, devotees, see what happens. See what happens in our life. This is what he's saying here. This is what he's saying. That we don't have to be the smartest, we don't have to be the most knowledgeable, we don't have to do anything else other than possess bhakti. Now, it's much easier said than done. It's much easier said than done. I'm saying all we have to do is have bhakti. But devotees developing that bhakti. You know, many of the great characters we read about in Ramayana, one comes to mind, Sage Sharbhanga. Sage Sharbhanga, he did all his austerities, all the religious practices, yagna, yoga, all these different things he did. And he said, my Lord, I offer all of this to you. I offer all these austerities to you, and in return I only ask for one gift, and that is the gift of bhakti. So everything that we do, you know, we do our pujas, we do our havan, we do our jap, we do whatever we do, and we try to do it for God, it is in that hope or looking forward to attaining that state of being a bhakta, of having that bhakti in our hearts. That instantaneously we can sit and close our eyes and we can see Bhagavan. Wouldn't we like this? That instantaneously we can sit anywhere, it doesn't matter, we can be in the midst of chaos. We can sit and we can see our Bhagavan. We can see God. And we can experience Him at any given point in time. This is called spontaneous bhakti. Spontaneous bhakti. And this is what we are working towards, devotees. Everything that we do, we sing a bhajan, we sing a kirtan, we come and we help in the mandir. Whatever we do, we are doing it towards that end and towards that goal of attaining that bhakti. Boli Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. So tomorrow night we will continue our katha. At this time we will engage in our Aarti. So those who are able to stand, may we all stand as we engage in Sri Ramayan Aarti. Om Sajang Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahanina Yojitam Maya Depam Grihan Devesh Trailokyam Timirapaha Aarti Shri रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिया पी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की गावत ब्रह्मा दिका मुनि नारद गावत ब्रह्मा दिका वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद वाल्मीकि शुक सनकादि शेष और शारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरति की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सिया पी की गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश चाहो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनि जन ध्यान संतन को सरवस सार अंश मत सब ही के बोलो आरती श्री रामायण जी के गावत संतत शंभो भवानी और घात संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि जब खाने काग भुसुंगे गरुड़ के ही के बोलो आरती श्री रामायण कलिमल हारानी विषय रस फीके सुभाग श्रृंगार मोके युवती के गलन रोग भव मोरियमी के तात मात सब विधि तुलसी के आरती श्री रामायण मायन जी के कीरत कलित ललित सिया पी के आरती श्री रामायण जी के कीरत कलित ललित सिया कीरत कलित ललित सिया पी के कीरत कलित। बोली श्री रामचंद्र भगवान के जय। At this time, devotees, please take flowers in your hand. We all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow heads. Once more, focusing our minds upon Maryada Purushottam, Prabhu Shri Ram. As we engage in our final prarthana, we do thank our Lord and we show our gratitude, our appreciation for having this opportunity today to join together in the mandir, to offer devotion at the feet of the Lord in very wonderful sanctuary, very wonderful space called our mandir, where our mind finds peace, our mind finds tranquility. We thank that Lord for this opportunity this morning, and we ask you, Lord, to bless us, to create many more opportunities to engage in your seva, to engage in your service, to engage in your devotion. We ask you, Lord, to let us not sway into the path of negativity. Let us not go down the wrong roads in life that lead us to darkness, destruction, unhappiness. We offer this humble prarthana at your feet, O Lord. Harihi Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardanam Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tarastu Me. Om Vahanam न जानामि विसर्जनम पूजम चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय। हे सर्वशक्तिमान सच्चिदानंद निराकार निर्विकार सर्वधार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक अंतर्यामी अजर अमर नित्य पवित्र सृष्टिकर्ता को बारंबार नमस्कार है। हे परमात्मा भविष्य वर्तमान दुखियों का कष्ट हरण करके सुबुद्धि को प्रकाश कर कि जिससे सबका मंगल हो। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। We raise our voices in praises of Shiv Shankar Bhagwan today, being Monday's very wonderful and auspicious day, to offer devotions to Lord Shiva. So we chant unto him. Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Har Shambho. Everyone. Samba Sada Shiva, 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 Har Shambho. गिरिजावर हे गिरिजावर हे गिरिजावर हर शंभो हे गिरिजावर हे गिरिजावर हे करुणाकर हे करुणाकर हे करुणाकर हर शंभो हे करुणाकर हे करुणाकर बोलो सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव हर शंभो बोलो बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय 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 बोलो सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव हर शंभो बोलो बोलो सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव हर शंभो सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव हर शंभो everyone together सांब सदा शिव सांब सदा शिव बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र के जय उमापति महादेव के जय पवन सुत हनुमान के जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र के जय ओरेसा जगन्नाथ के जय बोलो रे भाई सब संतन के जय सियापति रामचंद्र के जय बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म के जय 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 सीताराम आसन लीजिए प्लीज हैव योर सीट्स How many of us felt that last kirtan could have gone on? Energy, created by all of us together and engaged in that devotion. I don't know about anybody else, but when I involved in these types of things, we started puja this morning just around, 8:40? 8:40. So, 3.5 hours. You don't feel tired, you don't feel hungry. All of those things become secondary when the mind is taken away in devotion. So it gives us an idea, right? Gives us a thought. Gives us a thought what we need to do. When we find ourselves in problems, right? What did Sage Markandeya do? How did he defeat Yamraj? How did he defeat Yamraj? Yamraj, god of death. How did he defeat him? He went into dhyan. He went into meditation. He went to Lord Shiva. His Atma, his mind, his intellect went to Lord Shiva. Only the body was there. Yamraj came to take. What Yamraj takes? He doesn't take the body. The body remains here. He takes the Atma, he takes the mind, he takes the intellect. That travels. So when he reach, I see Sage Markandeya sit down there. Only the body is there. So Sage Markandeya defeated Yamraj by engaging in devotion, engaging in dhyan onto Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. So devotees gives us a thought, gives us an idea what we need to do in our lives to overcome any difficulty, any situation that comes to us. So devotees, please join with us again tomorrow evening now. Not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow everybody have to go back to work, right? Except teachers. right? So tomorrow evening session, puja will start at 6:30, and we'll try to finish promptly at 9 o'clock. And again, we'll continue perusing our Katha, where Bhagwan Sri Ram here is speaking to Kargbusundaji. So once more, God's blessings to all to those who are joining us online until tomorrow evening. Jai Jai Sitaram.